पिताचरिं शिरात् करुणयावतीर्णकरो समर्पयितुम् उन्नतोज्ज्वलरसा स्वभक्ति श्रियम् हरिः पुरट सुन्दरजिति कदम्ब सन्नीपिता सदा हृदय कंदरे स्फुरतु वासची नंदना जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद जय द्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंद जगत मंगल द्वैत मंगल गुणधाम मंगल चरित्र सदा मंगल Hare Krishna, we welcome all of our dear listeners over Facebook Live, the listeners who have joined us over YouTube Live, and all of our dear listeners who have joined us over Zoom. Thank you all so much for joining in. Today, we welcome you to day 60 of Sri Gauramrita. So before we move forward, we would like to announce and congratulate the participants of the quiz session from day 59. We would like to congratulate Hari Prasad Prabhu, Mother Flavia, or Amrita Radhika. Congratulations to you. Nutan Purohit Mataji, we are so grateful to you, Mataji, that in spite of your very busy schedule, you are taking time out and participating in the quiz. And Anju Agarwaldi, congratulations to you, and to Ranjani Gopika. Thank you so much, Gopika, for your continued efforts in posting the correct answers in the groups and to come up with the beautiful questions and post the answers every day to do this wonderful service. And we urge all of our listeners to encourage all of our listeners to try and participate in the quiz as much as you can. Thank you all so much once again for the participants. Thank you. So today in session 60, we will continue to describe the transcendental treasure trove of Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's devotional pastimes, the sannyas ceremony of Lord Sri Gaura Sundar, the sannyas name-giving ceremony of Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu by Srila Keshava Bharati. And then we'll conclude today's session by describing the Phala Stuti, the benefits that we receive by listening to these transcendental pastimes of Sri Gaura Hari. In fact, Srila Lochandas Thakur in Sri Chaitanya Mangal, he vividly describes the sannyas ceremony of Lord Sri Gaura Sundar and the sannyas name-giving ceremony of Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu by Srila Keshava Bharati. Yesterday, we heard how the beautiful hair of Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu was shaved by Madhu Barber. And everyone present, including the demigods, they wept bitterly, witnessing this most heartbreaking sight of the Lord shaving his transcendental hair. Then the Lord took his bath in the Ganges and sat for his sannyas ceremony. So his hairs have been shaved, he took bath in the Ganges, and he's sitting for his sannyas ceremony. Sri Gaura Chandra is described in the Vedas as the spiritual master of all. And he understood the reluctance of Sri Keshava Bharati to initiate Lord Gauranga. That Keshava Bharati was thinking, Srila Keshava Bharati was thinking, how can I initiate the spiritual master of all the worlds? He's my spiritual master also. Understanding this hesitation, the Supreme Lord, Sri Gaura Hari, he spoke to Keshava Bharati that, you know, Srila Keshava Bharati, in a dream, a Brahmana appeared to me and spoke the sannyas mantra in my ear. Can you please confirm if this is the appropriate mantra or not? And speaking in this way, the Lord spoke the mantra in Keshava Bharati's ear, asking him to confirm. And by chanting this mantra, sannyas mantra in Keshava Bharati's ear, the Lord actually initiated him in the sannyas mantra, initiated Keshava Bharati in the sannyas mantra. And now Keshava Bharati was just struck with great wonder. What just happened? Did Lord Gauranga initiate me? Now I am his disciple. Now I have to follow what he instructs me to.
In fact, it is said Lord Gauranga did this for two reasons.
So basically, as we had discussed before, we had told this pastime a little earlier, but this is the actual moment of truth that has come. And this is the exact time that Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu actually spoke the sannyas mantra first in the years of Keshav Bharati Goswami. So there are a couple of reasons the acharyas have explained that why did Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu do this? First of all, Gauranga Mahaprabhu, as the Paramatma in everyone's heart, was feeling the hesitation that Keshav Bharati was feeling to initiate Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu in the sannyas mantra. So therefore, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave the mantra first to him and told him to repeat the same mantra back to him. So in Bengali, there's a saying, Ganga Jale Ganga Pujo, means that the way to worship Mother Ganga, the way we do worship Mother Ganga, is that we take some water while we are bathing in the Ganga, we collect waters of the Ganga in our palms of both our hands, and then we offer that water back to Mother Ganga as a tarpana. That is the way we offer worship to Mother Ganga, because there's nothing more auspicious or nothing more pure in all the three planetary systems than the Ganga water. So how can we worship the Ganga water with an article more auspicious than the Ganga water itself? So similarly, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu, in order to exhibit this pastime of becoming an initiated disciple, sannyas initiated disciple of Srila Keshav Bharati, he first initiated Keshav Bharati with the sannyas mantra and then asked him to repeat the same mantra back to Gauranga Mahaprabhu. So it was like Gauranga Mahaprabhu was being offered the same mantra by Keshav Bharati, worshipping the Lord by offering that mantra back to him like that. That is the way, that is one reason. The second reason being that because Keshav Bharati was a Mayavad sannyasi, he was from the Bharati Sampradaya. So therefore, Lord Gauranga did not want to be recognized as a Mayavad sannyasi. He was very, very, very particular that Mayavada bhashya shunile hoy sharvanash. Mahaprabhu is very particular, especially about Mayavadis. So therefore, Lord Chaitanya did not want to be recognized as a Mayavadi sannyasi. And because of the ecstatic symptoms and the love that Keshav Bharati has for Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu, Mahaprabhu wanted to initiate him as a Vaishnava Sampradaya sannyasi.
Because the Vaishnavas and the Mayavadis are always at loggerheads. The Mayavadis think their philosophies don't match. The Mayavadis think that we are one with the Lord in quality and quantity, and that the Lord is impersonal. Whereas Vaishnavas understand that the Lord is a person and he has some impersonal aspects to him also, but his personal aspect is the source of the impersonal aspect. And Mayavadis believe the impersonal aspect is the source of the personal aspect. And therefore, there is always disagreement. And it is one time, one Mayavadi, he came and wrote on the board, Soham. This is their mantra, Soham, which means Saha Aham. I am that. I am that supreme Brahman. I am that supreme person. So a devotee, a Vaishnava came and he put a da in front of Soham. So it became Da Soham. The devotees always feel, I am not the Lord. I am actually the servant of the Lord. And so this Mayavadi came and he said, who wrote this Daso? So he put a Sa in front of that and it became Sadaso, which means I'm eternally that. I'm eternally the Supreme Lord. So then the Vaishnava came and he said, who has written this Sadaso? This is incorrect. He put a Da in front of them and it became Dasadaso. And which means I'm the servant of the Supreme Lord. And In this way, the Mayavadi came and said, Sada Sada Soham. And the devotee said, Das 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 Soham. So as much the Mayavadis want to go eternally, they want to become the Supreme Lord. The Vaishnavas eternally want to be the servant of the servant of the servant, which is the actual position of the living entity as given in Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, and as explained by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Therefore, because Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was a Vaishnava, he did not want to get initiated in a Mayavadi Sampradaya. And Keshava Bharati Goswami was initiated in the Mayavadi Bharati Sampradaya. And that's why he first initiated Keshava Bharati into Vaishnava Sampradaya, started by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself. And then he got initiation mantra from Keshava Bharati Maharaj again.
So according to the instructions of the Lord, the magnanimous Keshava Bharati then spoke this very, very special sannyas mantra in the lotus ears of Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu. And the auspicious sound of the holy names were being chanted by Mukunda and the other devotees. They were all chanting the holy names while the sannyas ceremony was going on. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Then the Lord put on the enchanting saffron dress and appeared as beautiful as millions of cupids. This was the moment of the truth of the promise that that Krishna had made to Srimati Radharani, that Sri Radhe, I will reciprocate with your mood and with your act of taking on the cloth of separation. And this time, as Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu accepted sannyas, he fulfilled his promise to Srimati Radharani by wearing on the same saffron robes of renunciation. He wore on the saffron robes, which not only mark renunciation, but they are what it symbolizes is separation from the Supreme Lord. So Srimati Radharani, was filled in deep ecstasy just witnessing this wonderful pastime in the mood of Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu. So then the beautiful body of Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu was decorated with sandalwood pulp and flower garlands, and holding his danda in one hand, and he was holding a water pot in the other hand. The Lord was appearing to be overwhelmed with pure ecstatic love.
In fact, Srila Veda Vyasa has given description in Vishnu Sahasranam that the Lord would advent as a sannyasi. Now, this statement has been fulfilled by the best of the Brahmanas, and this secret is now well known to the society of Vaishnava. What is spoken in Vishnu Sahasranam is Suvarna Varna Hemango Varangas Chandanangadi Sannyasa Krichamashanto Nishtashanti Parayanaha. The Lord Vishnu, who will accept sannyas, will be fully surrendered to Krishna. He will be fixed in determination, engaged in the performance of Harinam Yagya, and he will destroy the non-devotee followers of impersonalism. He will be fully peaceful and possessor of Mahabhava.
So now let's see what happened with the name-giving ceremony of Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu. So Keshava Bharati, after giving Sri Gauranga the sannyas mantra, he began to think that what name can I award the Lord? What name can I benedict the Lord with? So Keshava Bharati thought to himself that I cannot find such a Vaishnava in all of the 14 planetary worlds, let alone the 14 planetary worlds. I cannot find a Vaishnava like this Supreme Lord in all of creation. This is my conviction. Therefore, I will give a name that is previously unheard of. It has not been declared ever before. Then my desire will have been fulfilled. So Keshava Bharati thought that although a disciple who is initiated in the Bharati Sampradaya should be having the suffix of Bharati. You see, that is the way they recognize a devotee from the Bharati Sampradaya, like Keshava Bharati. So Keshava Bharati was thinking that I cannot give him the name that ends with Bharati because that name would not be appropriate for this wonderful Nimai. So as Keshava Bharati was thinking in this way, Saraswati Devi, the transcendental goddess of learning and the eternal servitor of the Supreme Lord, appeared on the tongue of Keshav Bharati. And finding the most suitable name, the pure-hearted Keshav Bharati just meditated in his heart the name of Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu. And he placed his hand on the chest of the Lord. He placed his hand on the chest of the Lord and he said that, my dear Nimai, you have induced the entire world to chant the names of Krishna. And by inaugurating the movement of the Sankirtana, you have roused the consciousness of the people. You've aroused their consciousness, their Chaitana. You have aroused that. So therefore, your name will be Sri Krishna Chaitanya. Jai. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai.
Then Srila Keshava Bharati Maharaj ended by saying, because of you, everyone will be grateful. Everyone will be kritagya, will be thankful and grateful to you. When Sri Keshava Bharati spoke this, everyone chanted Jai, Jai, and there were flowers that were showered on them. And the Vaishnavas, they were floating in waves of transcendental happiness, started chanting Hari, 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 Hari. And then all the devotees together offered obeisances to Srila Keshava Bharati. And the Lord felt satisfied receiving his name, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, one who has roused the consciousness of the living entities by spreading the holy name of Krishna. And then everyone started chanting, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya. And in this way, the holy name of Shri Krishna Chaitanya was just manifest. All the devotees fell flat, offering obeisances. By accepting sannyas, the merciful Lord thus became famous as Shri Krishna Chaitanya. And the devotees, they would lovingly address each other as Prabhu, which means master. And the devotees then said, Shri Krishna Chaitanya is not just Prabhu. He's not just my master. He's the great master. He is Mahaprabhu. And then his name became Shri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. We address each other as Prabhu, but there is one Mahaprabhu, Shri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who accepted sannyas. This was the name that was given to him during sannyas initiation. It is said, when one takes sannyas, one must follow the principle of pure devotion. Anyabhilashita shunyam jnana karma anavritam, which means that one must, this is Rupa Goswami says this verse, that one must have no other hopes of happiness other than Sri Krishna. That is sannyas. That is when we can actually internally be a sannyasi, when we give up all the other hopes of happiness in this material world, except that only in Krishna can we find happiness. That is the meaning of this verse. That is the meaning that Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took while he accepted sannyas.
Also, it is said that many other pastimes took place here in Katwa, in this Gauranga Bari, but only, Srila Loshan Das Thakur says that only my Lord and Master Sri Nityananda Ram, only he knows those pastimes, not any other personality know what else other pastimes, very, very confidential pastimes that have taken place here in this wonderful town of Katwa, which is the place where Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu, Krishna himself fulfilled his promise to Srimati Radharani. It's a very, very special place, Katwa.
And the transcendental, beautiful hair of Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu, which we heard yesterday, how it was shaved. They were put in a bunch and put in a samadhi. They were not just thrown away. Those were the beautiful hair of Sri Nimai Pandit. They lie in samadhi here in the city of Katwa, in a temple known as Gauranga Bari, the home of Lord Gauranga. And then the samadhi of the barber Madhu, who became the sweet maker Madhu, also lies here in this very temple in Gauranga Bari in Katwa. So simply it is said, the Phala Stuti of hearing this pastime of the name-giving ceremony of Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, by hearing this pastime of Lord Gauranga desiring to take sannyas, one can actually break free from the bonds of material attachments. And Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur blesses everyone, saying, whoever hears this pastime will certainly become a servant of Lord Chaitanya. And by hearing the pastime of the Lord's acceptance of sannyas, one will achieve the wealth of Krishna Prema and will destroy one's bondage due to fruitive activities. Adyapi halila koren Shri Gaurai kono kono bhagavan dekhi bare pai. Lord Chaitanya's pastimes are being performed even now, and whoever is blessed by the Lord to see can see, and others cannot see.
So when we are narrating these pastimes, we hope and pray that the Lord really manifests and allows us to participate in these pastimes. Now, these pastimes happened 500 years ago. What relevance does it really have in our day-to-day life, in our sadhana? What help does it give in our sadhana? Let us take a moment and try to meditate on that the Phala Stuti that we just heard, that it helps us get pure love of Krishna, that how listening to this pastime, Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur, what a wonderful benediction he has given, that whoever hears this pastime will certainly become a servant of Sri Krishna Chaitanya. By hearing this pastime of the Lord's accepting of sannyas, one will achieve the wealth of Krishna Prema, and they will destroy the bondage of fruitive activities. Imagine this kind of benediction that we are getting, that it is just like how Srila Prabhupada describes, that those who are pure devotees, they are in this world, they may be in this world, but they are not of this world. That they are just like that, lotus leaf, that although it appears to be in a puddle, but none of the puddle or any water can also stand on top of the lotus leaf. It will just slide down. So it's not that in the life of a devotee there are no difficulties. There are innumerable difficulties because this material world is by nature, it is temporary and it is miserable. So this is dukhalayam ashashvatam. It is temporary and miserable. But the only oasis that we have, a spiritual oasis, is this Krishna Katha. When we listen to such Katha, it is taking us away and, in this desert, like, where the scorching sun is just pouring and it is burning us inside out. That's when this Krishna Katha comes as a, fresh rain, and it always tapta jivanam, tava kathamritam, tapta jivanam. That Krishna Kathamrita means the nectar of Krishna Katha always gives us solace. It is like fresh rain falling on the desert, like hearts which are scorching in the material pangs of misery. And it gives us great satisfaction and bliss. And thus we can just continue to be blissful even though we are in this world of misery.
Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he took sannyas, one principle of sannyas is one should stop hankering and lamenting for anything material. But Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu continued to increase his hankering and lamentation for Krishna. It is said that we should never lament, oh, why this thing happened, why that thing happened, why I could have done this, I could have done that. The only thing that we should lament about is, why did I leave the association of the Lord in the spiritual world? And how can I correct that mistake? Everyone makes mistakes. But I was hearing yesterday by a lecture in Chaitanya Charan Prabhu that he said, is it a mistake of, is it when we make a mistake, for example, is that a plan of the Lord? Or how do we understand, or is it our mistake?
Is it our karma? Is it our destiny? What is it?
So it is explained that nothing happens by chance. Everything happens by a design. But when we make a mistake, we should take responsibility for it. We should not lament for it, like we're talking about hankering and lamentation. Because if we continue to surrender to Krishna, then Krishna will connect us back to the path of going back home, back to Godhead, of reviving that love of God within ourselves. And the example was given of a GPS. When we drive a car, the GPS says turn right, and if we make a mistake and turn left, what happens? The GPS doesn't start shouting, I told you right, why did you not turn left? Why did you not turn right? You turned left. Now I'm not doing it. Now I have nothing to do with you. No, the GPS very calmly says rerouting, and then it tells you a different route that we can take to achieve that same destination. Yes, we made a mistake, we made a wrong turn, but now let's get back on track. So as long as we have the desire to get back on track, we have the desire to surrender to Krishna. Krishna is like that GPS. He never leaves us. All our friends, family, relatives, so many people would leave us, but Krishna will never leave us. And when there is a mistake that is made, then Krishna would say rerouting. Now it may take longer for us to reach the destination. We may spend more fuel. We may have to suffer the consequences of the karma of that mistake, but Krishna will never leave us. Krishna will bring us back. That is the ultimate plan of the Lord. So the mistake was not necessarily the plan of the Lord, unless it was mistakes like how Maharaj Parikshit was overwhelmed and he put a snake on a sadhu, or some mistakes that different devotees do, who are being made to make the mistake for us to understand. But for general public, Krishna is always taking care, whatever we do, as long as we continue to surrender to him. In this Kali Yuga, how do we surrender to him? By chanting the holy names of the Lord, by following Srila Prabhupada's instructions of chanting 16 rounds, follow the regulative principles, serve devotees, and preach this message of Krishna consciousness. As long as we are doing that, Krishna will reroute us in whatever way back.
And sometimes that rerouting may be an even easier path.
Yes.
Sometimes that rerouting may be a very much lesser journey, because it will all be based on our sincerity.
Because sometimes Krishna can make our mistake into a blessing. If we surrender to him, he can convert that into a blessing. Sometimes things happen by karma. Sometimes things happen when Krishna ordains it. And sometimes we make genuine mistakes. In either case, Krishna never leaves us, and he always is our well-wisher, wanting us to take us back home, back to Godhead, and revive that love of God within ourselves, as long as we want to do that.
Hari Hari.
Ekhane rohilo grantha, amrita lahiri, bodon bhore ekbar, bolo Hari Hari. Hari Hari, Hari Hari.
So we'll chant today in honor of Mahaprabhu receiving his sannyas name, Mahaprabhu receiving the sannyas mantra in the beautiful name that Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has received sannyas.
Tasmai Shri Namo Krishna Vada Krishna Krishna Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Jai Namaste Saraswati Devi Gaura Prachari Nirvishesha Shunyava Paschatya Deshata Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srila Gaura Bhakta Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna Hare 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 Rama Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram
Srila Prabhupada ki
Jai.
So So before we open up the lines, we will go through the quiz questions.
First, what are the two reasons for Lord Gauranga Mahaprabhu to chant the Sannyas mantra in the ear of Keshava Bharati Goswami?
Second, what does sannyas robe represent?
Third, what is the sannyas name of Lord Gauranga Mahaprabhu and why did Keshava Bharati Maharaj give that name?
Fourth, what is the Phala Stuti of listening to these transcendental pastimes?
Fifth, what should we lament for?
Haribo, thank you so much, dearest Ranjani Gopika, for these awesome quiz questions. Now we could open up the lines for any questions, comments, realizations, reflections. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji Prabhuji, Dandavad Pranam. All glories goes to Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna. And thank you so much Prabhuji and Mataji for the wonderful session and bhajan as well. But as you both told, right, even the heart will melt if you hear Krishna Katha. But I will say, if any person hear your bhajan like this now, even their heart will melt soon, as soon as possible, because it melted me. slowly, my heart is getting melted of your your bhajan. Seriously, it is the emotional tune. You are bringing the mood of a separation of Supreme Lord. So we are facing that one whenever you sing this, the way you are singing, right? It is outstanding and excellent. I don't know what to say more than that. I'm not qualified to say that, but still I am.
All we can say is it's the mercy of Srila Prabhupada and our spiritual masters.
Yeah. So
like yourself.
We are not qualified for all the things that you're saying. We don't deserve that.
But you are bringing to our ears now, Prabhuji. You are the instrument, right? So with the help of you both, we are able to realize Lord Krishna in our heart through this bhajan. I'm seriously melting the heart. I will say that anyone here, so definitely they will get the consciousness of Krishna. And thank you so.
Chanting for our purification, and we're grateful that you're allowing us to be of some service to you.
Thank you.
Everyone, Prabhuji, not only me, everyone in this group, they will get benefit because of you both serving us, everyone. And today's session is most outstanding. Like you told many life lessons to us. So for what purpose we need to lament and hankering? Yeah, we will realize our mistakes and we will be the responsible for that. And I do remember, Prabhuji, you told earlier class, like we should not think in a negative way, like I should not do the mistake, I should not do the mistake. Instead of that, the positive way you told, right? And we are following it up. Everyone, I think everyone is been following it up, so that we will not do the mistakes and we'll be very careful on that. And I have one question, Prabhuji. So yesterday in one of the group, I read that because of a disciple of our Guru Maharaj, Jayapataka Swami Maharaj, so one of the disciple is not doing the chanting properly. He took initiation, right? So he's not doing following the four regulative principles and not chanting the rounds properly. Because of that, Maharaj is getting some infection or something disease, right? So why is it so, Prabhuji? So what is the reason behind that? Because if I took, for example, if I take an initiation, it is my responsibility to do that, to serve Guru and to serve Supreme Lord. So instead of punishing me, why Maharaj is getting that one? I couldn't understand that. So what is the exact reason behind that, Prabhuji and Mataji?
Well, see, the thing is that when we take initiation, when we receive initiation, so it's like a joint pact between the Guru and the disciple. So it's not that just the Guru suffers. So Guru does get part of the karma, so the disciple also suffers. That's a given. The disciple will definitely suffer because they are not keeping up their end of the deal. Then they will definitely have to suffer. But the worst part of it is that their incompetence in not following will hamper the health of the Guru. So that's why a disciple is very, very careful that they don't become the cause of the misery of the spiritual master. So that they follow. So Krishna says that, Sarva Dharman Parityajya Mamekam Sharanam Braja Aham Tvam Sarva Papebhyo. Krishna says, I take away all your sinful reactions. How does he do that? It happens during the time of initiation. That through the spiritual master, Krishna takes away all our sinful activities. So when Krishna is taking, you see, not just the guru, but the entire guru parampara, they kind of share in, little percentages of the karma. So including the disciple gets their share, and the guru also gets a share. So therefore, a disciple needs to be extra careful in following very, very sincerely, so that at least they don't harm the spiritual master. They don't become a cause for the suffering of the spiritual master.
Yeah, thank you for the answer. Yeah, it is clear now. And thank you so much for the Prabhuji and Mataji's session. Wonderful. Hare Krishna. Dandavad Pranam, Prabhuji and Mataji.
So much. Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Haribo, Gaurima, and Krishna.
Haribo, Mataji and Prabhuji. Dandavad Pranam.
What happened to Krishna?
Krishna said,
Why are you so shy?
Haribol. Haribol. Haribol.
Haribo, beta. Yes, bacha.
Mataji, I love today's class, and especially it was continuing. And my favorite part is that when his guru said, your name is going to be Shri Krishna Chaitanya, and the devotees said, not only Prabhu, it's Mahaprabhu, so his name became Shri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. I never knew about this. I thought we call him like Mahaprabhu. Like, I did not think it was his name. So, Mataji, I wanted to show a picture of Nimai in the Atlanta temple. I could not do it that great, but today's clothes, I do that.
It's awesome.
I drew today's clothes, like the color, what they were wearing today, black and
beautiful, beautiful, beta, very beautiful. Please take pictures and send. Yes, bacha.
Mataji, so why did not take the form of Dharana on the altar with Sudarshana? He is asking why
Krishna take the form of Jagannath with Sudarshana?
And Krishna.
And Krishna, why did Krishna take the form of Jagannath with Sudarshana? Well, see, Sudarshana is the weapon of Lord Jagannath, right? Of Krishna. Sudarshana is the weapon of Krishna. So wherever Krishna is, his weapon will also be there. So because Jagannath, he is this surprising form that Krishna, when he becomes very surprised, seeing the devotion of his devotees, his eyes become big. And he becomes so much smiling. He smiles like that, and he becomes so happy seeing his devotees like sweet little Krishna. That time Krishna manifests as Lord Jagannath. He becomes very, very happy when he sees his devotees, to see the love of his devotees. So that's when Krishna manifests as Lord Jagannath.
Say thank you, Mataji and Prabhuji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Vita.
Very nice question. Very beautiful.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Any other questions or comments?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Hare Krishna Mataji.
Prabhu and Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Such a beautiful narration of Mahaprabhu taking sannyas and his name ceremony. So clearly explained, so beautiful. And also your kirtan was beautiful. It puts us in the kind of meditative mood. When you close your eyes and listen to the tune, it's like, you are just going just out of the world. So thank you so much. It's a beautiful narration.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you so much for your blessings, your mercy upon us. We are always seeking Mataji's and your blessings, Prabhu. Thank you.
We need your blessings, Mataji.
When you are telling Mataji, we feel like we are watching ourselves, live there. So beautifully you explained that.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you. Thank you. It is the purity of your hearing. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Anjali?
Hare Krishna. Jai Jai Shri Radhe.
Jai Shri Radhe. Hari Bol.
Hari Bol. Actually, first I was thinking every day we just pop in, all 3-4 of us, and then all the devotees must be thinking we are so eager. But what to do? We can't stop ourselves for such to say our reflections, our learnings and all, and appreciating everything. And the way Prabhuji said, Hariprasad Prabhuji, that just now, it was so beautiful. If somebody just chant with you Hare Krishna, it will just melt the heart and we will get the love of Shri Krishna. It was so beautiful. It's beyond words. You just can't describe. You can just feel it and you just need to sing along with you. And the way Bhaiya you just explained today about mistakes, I think so you just answer, you were just a magician, you answered our Krishna as a magician, just answered, it was going in my head since yesterday and it was just answered so beautifully today, rerouting and everything, so nicely. And we are very, very fortunate to hear the pastimes of Mahaprabhu. Very fortunate, which we just, when we hear the first Stuti, I always say, oh my God, कुछ तो अच्छा हल्का सा तो किया होगा कि we are fortunate enough to get your association. And I always feel you are pure devotees, you are not of this earth, you are just just like lotus, and really blessed by the spiritual masters to just deliver, and you just understand them and just doing it with what they want before they just, the way you explained day before yesterday, I can really connect with it.
We're just
Thank
trying
you.
to humbly serve all of you. We are begging for all of your blessings, that we may continue to serve Srila Prabhupada and our spiritual masters and we can please them. That's all we want to do. So
I think
please
so you were
bless us.
just blessed, and we are also, please pray for all of us, and we just want your association. And ऐसे ही हम कथा सुनते रहेंगे तो बस हमको भी बस तर जाएंगे. Holding your hands, that's it. Behind your
Holding each
आप
other's
आगे आगे
hands.
चलिए.
We will
Each
walk
other.
together towards Krishna, yes.
Yeah, and I request all the devotees also to participate in the quiz. It's really actually, we just hear it and we just think, oh, we know, but we don't. And when we take part in the quiz, it really, really helps you, because again, you rewind your thing, again, you rewind the thing so many times, but it really makes a lot of impact. So please, all the devotees, take part in the quiz. It really
Right.
helps us. Thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for everything.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Hari Bol. Har Jai Jai Shri Radhe.
Jai
Thank you.
Shri Radhe. Rasika, Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna,
Hari
dearest Mataji and
Krishna.
Prabhuji. Thank you so much for the Nectarian class every day. And today's class was really, really blissful. It was painful to hear Sannyas Leela of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but at the same time, it is so blissful to know that Krishna, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is so compassionate that for the benefit of all, to show us by his personal example, he took sannyas, and how he glorified his holy names, he glorified for the benefit of all. And I really like the term you used at Puja. So only by the holy names of Krishna, by chanting his names, we can serve Krishna, we can glorify him. So it was really, really blissful. And to hear from pure Vaishnavas as you, it really pierces our ears and enters our heart. So please bless us that with our hard-hearted heart changes and it melts. So please bless us and please continue your service, great service that you're doing. So thank you so much, really grateful to you both for these beautiful sessions every day. Thank you. Shri Chaitanya
Thank you
Mahaprabhu
so much.
ki jai.
Right, right. Thank you so
Yeah.
much, Rustika. Thank you. Your words mean the world to us. Thank you.
Hari bol, Hari bol.
Hare
Dandavat pranam.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Amrita Radhika, for your beautiful comment. Thank you, Monica Bhavi, for your beautiful comment, and all the devotees who have given such wonderful, wonderful comments. We are very, very grateful to all of you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Right, if there are no more questions, we can end here. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripasintu bhyavescha Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki Srila Prabhupada ki
So we look forward to seeing all of you tomorrow again. Thank you